Hello, my name is Eddie Tofpik. I'm Head of Technical Analysis and Senior Markets Analyst at ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here is your daily technical analysis of stock index futures. I'll start with the UK FTSE futures. A gapping lower since filled in bearish black crow yesterday. However, the most significant feature of the action was how it pierced and closed below the recent uptrend support, currently at 72.85. This uptrend is now part of the late September to date rising wedge pattern. This rising wedge pattern is newish, but it has some potential. The big question now is whether this is a real or false break lower. It's too early to give a definitive target X as yet for a move lower, but as an idea, it is, if this current break is true, it would be down to the initial 7200 level with a secondary target at 7160. So far today, a slightly lower open. A dip down to the rising short moving average, currently at 72.35, before a strong reaction seems to have set in. Prices have turned back up, breached back up over the uptrend, and the rising higher than yesterday, such that we are right now on the verge of making a combined key reversal up and bullish engulfing pattern. All very, very interesting. The next overhead resistances are now the all-time high at 73.13.5 and the upper trend line of the rising wedge pattern, currently at 73.75, which raises all sorts of interesting possibilities, not least that yesterday may have been a false break lower. German DAX futures. Yet another schizophrenic pattern yesterday, and also in its own way another interesting piece of action. Yes, it was a fourth successive indecisive spinning top. Yes, it was a new all-time high. And yes, it could also be seen as a key reversal down. Hence the schizophrenia. This is a kind of there is actually a kind of symmetry here, as we had the same happen last Friday, but there it was with a key reversal up instead of a key reversal down. My only concern is that all the last three sessions could possibly be seen as a bearish tri-star. Now that pattern doesn't quite fit, as we have no dojis and we have 4 indecisive patterns in a row instead of 3, but the thought is still there. Overhead, we still have the large upper bull channel line currently at 16.341 and seemingly little else until the higher 50% projected Fibonacci line at 16.637. Meanwhile below, well, it's as I've previously said, bar this congestion around the highs, roughly between the lesser projected Fibonacci line at 15.970 and the previous all-time high at 16.024, we have little in the way until the congestion a little way below, which includes within it the 50% projected Fibonacci line at 15.629, the flatlining medium moving average currently 15.617, and the flatlining short medium moving average currently 15.579. So far today, not much, opening a little lower and holding just below the previous August all-time high at 16.024. E-mini S&P futures. A bearish double yesterday as the market moved back down to the broken upper trend line, currently 46.82 of the old June to September rising wedge pattern. That's currently between 46.36 and 46.82, closing actually right on it. This rising wedge pattern is getting thinner and thinner between the two trend lines. This is the first remembrance also of the shadow of September's monthly key reversal down. Now, overhead we still have the 50% projected Fibonacci line at 46.95, which has been repeatedly pierced, including yesterday, but as yet has not received a single close over it. Further up, we have a speculative possible target X in the 47.72 area. This target X is for the same broken old rising wedge pattern. I'm not overly keen on this idea topside, but it seems appropriate that I share it just in case. Meanwhile below, with the broken lower rising wedge trend line, that's now currently at 46.36, and then the September high at 45.49.5. And so far today, a lower open and a range back within the old broken rising wedge pattern, currently lower than yesterday's close and with a slightly lower low, as prices seem to rest upon the lesser projected Fibonacci line at 46.61. French CAC 40 futures. Another new all-time high yesterday, but, and it is a big but, it was also schizophrenic in making a combined outside day and at the same time an indecisive spinning top. I think you can see what I mean now. Below we still have the support of the 100% projected Fibonacci line at 69.68, the 50% projected Fibonacci line at 69.12, and the previous September 2000 all-time high at 69.51. Overhead we now have come tantalizingly close to target X1 in the 70.95 area. That's the initial target for the recent June to October diamond continuation pattern. We have a secondary target X2 in the 72.75 area, which would obviously be harder to get. In between here and there we have seemingly very little apart from the 100% projected Fibonacci line at 71.36. So far today, a slightly lower open, but then a move lower towards the low of yesterday, though not as yet really reaching it. Thank you for listening. This short version broadcast gives essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted with this broadcast. Copyright is Tofpik and ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here comes the final bit.